Long before cities bustled or dynasties rose, the land we know as Vietnam echoed with the footsteps of its earliest inhabitants. Millennia ago, in the misty heart of Southeast Asia, humans found shelter along the winding rivers and dense forests that would become their home. These Paleolithic pioneers, living as hunter-gatherers, adapted to the rhythms of the land. With stone tools in hand, they hunted wild game and foraged for roots, fruits, and nuts. Their settlements, nestled near rivers and highlands, became the crucible for a culture that would endure the test of time. Each season, they learned more from the land, passing down their knowledge and traditions, forging the earliest links in a chain of history that stretches into the present. As the centuries unfolded, the land's fertile plains, especially in the north, nurtured not just people, but the seeds of civilization itself. By the first millennium BCE, the Red River Delta became the cradle of early Vietnamese society. Here, communities mastered the art of rice cultivation, harnessing the monsoon rains and river floods to coax abundance from the soil. Bronze drums and tools, symbols of power and craftsmanship, emerged, signaling a society growing in complexity and confidence. With each harvest and festival, these early people wove together rituals, beliefs, and innovations that set them apart from their neighbors, laying the foundation for a distinct Vietnamese identity. The echoes of their drumbeats and the wisdom of their fields still resonate today, testaments to the enduring spirit of those ancient communities. But the story of Vietnam is also one of resilience in the face of foreign dominion. In 111 BCE, the vast Han Empire of China swept southward, annexing northern and central Vietnam. For nearly 1,000 years, Chinese emperors imposed their rule, bringing new customs, institutions, and philosophies. The Vietnamese landscape changed. Han soldiers marched through villages. Confucian texts found their way into local schools, and grand temples rose in new styles. Yet, beneath the surface, the Vietnamese spirit endured. Local traditions, languages, and beliefs survived and adapted, blending with imported religions like Buddhism and Taoism. Periodic uprisings, most famously led by the courageous Trung sisters, demonstrated an unwavering desire for autonomy. Through foreign rule, the Vietnamese people preserved their unique cultural heritage, quietly nurturing the roots of independence. That long-awaited freedom finally arrived in 939 CE, when Ngo Quyen, a brilliant tactician, led his forces to victory against the southern Han. On the banks of the Bac Dong River, Vietnam reclaimed its sovereignty, marking the dawn of a new era. Over the centuries, a succession of dynasties, Le, Tran, Lê, and others, shaped Vietnamese society. They built grand palaces and serene Buddhist pagodas, championed Confucian learning, and established a civil service based on merit. The land's boundaries expanded as ambitious monarchs pushed southward, eventually absorbing the Champa Kingdom and reaching the fertile Mekong Delta. Through these centuries, the Vietnamese people balanced the influences of their neighbors with their own evolving traditions, creating a society both cosmopolitan and uniquely their own. Yet, even as the nation grew, unity was not always assured. From the 17th through the 18th centuries, Vietnam found itself divided. In the north, Dong Nguai, ruled by the Trinh lords, governed from the ancient capital. In the south, Dang Trong, under the Nguyen lords, fostered its own style of leadership and development. For generations, these rival courts coexisted, sometimes in uneasy peace, sometimes in open conflict. Despite the political schism, the Vietnamese people remained connected by language, customs, and a shared sense of destiny. Art, literature, and commerce thrived in both regions, as did the enduring values of family, community, and resilience. The land's division was a test, but it could not erase a common heritage that ran deeper than any border. Reunification would come under the banner of the Nguyen dynasty, Vietnam's last imperial family. Rising from the south, the Nguyen lords ultimately overcame their rivals, consolidating control over the entire length of the country by the early 19th century. Under Emperor Gia Long and his successors, Vietnam entered a new age. The imperial court at Hue became a center of culture, learning, and power. Mandarin officials in flowing robes administered the provinces, while artisans and scholars contributed to a vibrant intellectual life. The dynasty sought to modernize the country, codifying laws and supporting infrastructure. Traditional festivals, music, and crafts flourished, even as the court faced mounting challenges from within and beyond its borders. The Nguyen era would not last forever, but its legacy endures, in the architecture of hue, the elegance of court music, and the enduring pride of the Vietnamese people. And so the journey through time brings us to the present. Today, Vietnam stands as a testament to endurance, adaptation, and unity. Its cities buzz with energy, motorbikes weaving through busy streets, ancient temples standing beside modern skyscrapers. In the countryside, farmers tend lush rice paddies, much as their ancestors did, while students in crisp uniforms fill classrooms with hope for the future. Cultural festivals, marked by vibrant costumes and music, celebrate a heritage shaped by centuries of triumph and challenge. The Vietnamese language, inflected by history and memory, carries the wisdom of generations. Vietnam's story is not merely one of survival, but of strength and renewal. It is a nation that has weathered invasions and wars, divisions and reunifications. Through it all, its people have held fast to their identity, honoring their ancestors while forging new paths. Their journey is woven into every song, every meal, every act of kindness and perseverance. Across the millennia, from the first Paleolithic settlements to the dynamic society of today, Vietnam's legacy endures, a tapestry of resilience, identity, and hope, carried proudly into the future.